Hi Christmas crew, it's Shannon and welcome to the Cozy Christmas Cottage. Today we're heading into Dollar Tree. I am so excited to share with you some really fun and unique ways of how to use their small packs of Christmas lights. You're also going to need to grab a piece of foam board for our very first project. We're going to be making some beautiful lit up Christmas trees to start with. So we're going to take our foam board and an X-Acto knife and we're going to cut right down the center of this piece of foam board. So instead of being 20 inches wide, they are each now 10 inches wide. This is going to create 2 Christmas trees for us. So the first piece, we are going to take a pencil and draw out the shape of a Christmas tree and take our X-Acto knife and cut out along our lines. Once our first tree is cut out, we're going to use that for the template for our second tree. So we're just going to take that tree, lay it right on top of the second piece of foam board, trace around it, and do the exact same thing we did with the first one, using our X-Acto knife to cut out along the lines. So now we have basically 2 Christmas trees the same height, looking pretty much the same, and I thought it'd be nice to make some in varying heights. So I am just taking off one row to see if I liked the height of this first one, and then decided to go ahead to take off 2 rows, and that gave me a nice variation in height in these, and it'll look nice paired together. We're going to be adding these clear white mini lights to these trees, so I just took my pencil and went across the trees and made some random marks of about where I wanted those lights to go, and did the same thing on the second tree as well. And to make it possible for those lights to go through the fronts of these trees, I'm taking my X-Acto knife and then just cutting X on those spots that I drew on the tree. And now we can insert those lights into the tree. So we're just going to take the light and punch it right through the back side of our tree where we cut those X's on the holes, and you can see these will punch through right to the front. If you want, you can add a little bit of hot glue onto the back side. That'll permanently attach those lights in place so they don't come out. Completely up to you. And as you can see, as I went and started adding the lights to these trees, it was kind of every other light. I thought I was going to have 20 lights to be able to insert into these trees, and instead it was more like 10 lights. So in the end, I did end up having to cut both of these trees down shorter so I could use the Dollar Tree lights. A remedy for this is you can actually just buy a longer strand of lights, maybe a pack of 50, and then you can get much taller trees instead of having to do what I did and have to shorten the trees, which was easy to do, just taking an X-Acto knife and cutting out one row of this tree. This is the tallest one I could get. The other one I had to cut down shorter than that, so I still got that varying heights in those trees. You still get pretty good sized trees even if you have to cut them down the short. My shorter one was 18 inches tall and the taller one was about 21 inches tall, so still not too bad if you want to use these Dollar Tree string lights. We also need to make these trees stand up, so I grabbed some scrap wood from my stash. You can also grab some blocks from Dollar Tree and do this as well. Just make sure it's something kind of heavy so that way it has some weight to hold these trees up. I painted my blocks of wood brown, and then for the support in the back, I'm using some wood tumbling tower blocks. I took 2 of them and glued them end to end. I did 2 sets of those and then glued those onto my base block a little bit towards the back, and then hot glued a second set on top to kind of add some height there. We're going to add some more hot glue onto the front of these tumbling tower blocks and then apply our first Christmas tree onto the front. You can also add a little bit of hot glue onto the bottom of your foam board of the tree. That'll help secure it even more. Just hold it tight until your glue sets up, and now you have a really simple but beautiful set of Christmas trees, and you can get creative with these. You can paint the foam board if you want. You can change the lights out to be colored lights. I also think these would be really cute if you took it to a little bit of a different design and did some Whoville Christmas trees if you are a Grinch fan. Next, we're going to make some snowball lighted garland with the help of these snowballs that you can get from Dollar Tree. I just bought several packs. Obviously, you're going to need 20 snowballs total, as there are 20 lights on a string of these lights. Just pull them out, make sure to stretch them out really good, and then take your hot glue. We're going to open up one of those snowballs to the center, add your hot glue, and then simply insert one of the light bulbs into the center and kind of pack it around the light bulb. And you just continue on until you have all of your snowballs attached to the lights.
It's cold outside. We gather around the fireplace, and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what.
The lights really give these a really pretty warm glow. So cute for Christmas time. Love that you can also keep them up and around for winter time, beyond Christmas time too. A quick and easy DIY that I hope you'll give a try.
Place that I can come home to. Yes,
The instant I saw these round canvases in the Dollar Tree Plus section, I instantly thought of a Christmas wreath. So I grabbed it. It's only $3. If you don't have these, you can use a regular square canvas too. It doesn't necessarily have to be round, but it kind of all just flows and works together. I'm also using the inside of an 8-inch embroidery hoop. We're going to use this in a couple different ways. The first way is to create a circle using a pencil to create a circle design in the center. If you have any boo-boos like I did, you can even come in with an eraser and erase those off the canvas. And then we're going to be using these really cool brush markers. I will link some down in the description box below for you. And I'm using 2 different green colors here for our wreath. So the first thing we're doing is just taking one of those green markers and going around the pencil marks of our circle. And then we're going to come in and add our leaves. Very, very simple. We're going to do 1 leaf on the inside and then 1 leaf on the outside. And they basically are just kind of teardrop shapes. You just want to make sure one side of your leaf is touching that circle, and then you kind of have a point on the outside of your leaf pointing in and outside of the circle. Work your way all the way around your circle until you have it full of leaves. Make sure to space them out. You don't want them too close together. And here is a close-up look, and you can see the 2 tones of green really give this some added interest and texture to our wreath. Now we're going to add some Christmas berries. So coming in with a red marker here, you can put some of the berries on the circle of the wreath and some of the berries off the circle of the wreath. I did groups of 3 and just evenly tried to space them out throughout the wreath. I am no artist by far. I am a crafter, but I was so happy with the way this turned out. If I can do this, you can absolutely do it. Give it a try. Circle, leaves, berries. You have an instant Christmas wreath. Now we're going to add to our wreath. I don't think any wreath is really done until it has a bow on it. So some red velvet ribbon. Just twist it into a really simple bow, cut down the tails, and then hot glue that onto the front and bottom of the wreath. Now for the magic, our lights. So these are fairy lights. You can find fairy lights at Dollar Tree, but I hardly ever use those anymore. I found these on Amazon and I'll link them down below for you. I've used these so much this Christmas season and I continue to. We're going to take these fairy lights and we're going to use some clear tape and just tape them onto that embroidery hoop that we used earlier to draw our circle. So just kind of wrap it around until you get back to the front of our battery pack. And that's the whole reason I love these from Amazon. Number 1, they're longer than the Dollar Tree ones. And number 2, they use watch batteries instead of AA batteries. So your battery pack is so much smaller and thinner. And these are definitely comparable in price when you buy them in a set. Again, I'll link these down below for you. Now that we have our embroidery hoop wrapped with our lights, we're going to flip our canvas to the back side, take our hot glue, and you can kind of see the wreath through the front there. And that's where you want to put your glue, and then put your embroidery hoop right down into the glue so we kind of have some inset lights. I am so incredibly happy with the way this turned out. It looks so fancy. If you wanted to, you could even add a word to the center of this or your family name to the center of this and personalize it, or you can leave it simple like I did here. The lights popping through really gives it that extra element and fanciness to it. Looks beautiful during the day. The lights at night look beautiful too. You just can pop it off the wall, turn those lights on, pop it back on the wall, and have a pretty display for Christmas. For the centerpiece DIY, you're gonna need a hula hoop from Dollar Tree. Take it outside, give it a couple coats of black spray paint, front and back side, let that dry. And then we're also going to give this a coat of gold spray paint, and that is really going to make this look super duper fancy. We're also going to need a base for this centerpiece. This is another piece of scrap wood. It's a 1x6 cut to about, I would say, 7 inches long, but go ahead, check Dollar Tree. You can get a couple pieces there and kind of sandwich them together to make something work for you as well from there. You just want to make sure it's good and heavy and thick, because we're going to be taking some screws and screwing this hula hoop into that base. I used 3 1¼ inch screws for that. Again, here we're going to be using our fairy lights to light up the outside of this hula hoop. So just put your battery pack towards the base of this and then take your fairy lights and very gently just kind of twirl them around the hula hoop. You don't want them too tight, so that way they will go all the way around from start to finish. And here they are once you turn them on. Very, very pretty even during the daytime. You can hot glue the bottom if you want, or you can leave them. They're wire, so they stay pretty good. Now we're gonna grab some styrofoam from Dollar Tree and cut this down. We need 2 pieces that are gonna go on the front and back and are kind of flat on the top, because we're gonna add some embellishments to this styrofoam. Once you have your pieces cut, hot glue those down onto the base piece of your wood. And the first thing we're going to add as an embellishment is some greenery. This is from Hobby Lobby, very affordable, especially since everything is 50% off now. So grab it while it's there, and we're going to cut the pieces down a little bit so we can then hot glue them to the hula hoop in the center. The top piece here is a ceramic house I got from the Target dollar spot years ago, but you can also find plastic houses at Dollar Tree that you could spray paint white for this, or Hobby Lobby has some as well. We're going to take another stem of the matching greenery and we're going to fill in the styrofoam in the front. If you have more greenery, add it to the back and then you will get a double-sided centerpiece. We're going to hang some bells from the top. I found these on Amazon and I'll link them down below for you. I just took one and kind of fed the string through the other one. That way they would hang offset and still kind of hang underneath each other too, and then untied the string from one and retied it onto the top of this hula hoop, and we have some pretty bells now hanging from this centerpiece. To dress it up just a little bit more, I grabbed some green velvet ribbon and we're just going to tie a little loop of this at the top and let those hang down. This is so gorgeous. It really turns out beautiful in the end. You can get so creative with this, make this work for your decor, especially if you're gonna have some type of Christmas party. You could put this on a table, on an entryway. You could clip cards onto this to display your Christmas cards or Christmas photos. Just a really versatile piece. Turns out really grand and is so affordable to create. Now you're gonna grab some children's-sized hangers from Dollar Tree. You're gonna need 16 of these hangers total. We're gonna make a lighted Christmas gift with this. And to do that, we need to make squares. So the first one, we're going to just lay 2 of the hangers side by side and then 2 of the hangers top and bottom. And then all the hooks are going to meet in the middle there and all the corners are gonna meet on these sides. So then you're going to take some zip ties and zip tie those corners together and also add some zip ties to the center so everything stays in place. You are going to need 4 of these squares total, and then we're going to take some more zip ties and tie these side to side in a line so we have 4 in a row. Once you get all of those zip tied together, we're going to stand this up on its side and make our box and zip tie that together as well. Here is where those Christmas lights come into play. We are also going to take these and we're going to zip tie them to the inside of our hanger present. Now we need to gift wrap our presents. I'm going to be using some red tulle, and that's going to cover up all the sides, but still make it see-through so that when we turn our lights on, you can still see through it. You can also find some tulle, or it's the deco mesh material at Dollar Tree. That would work for this too. Adding some ribbon around the center and a bow on top is really going to make this look like a present, so I highly recommend doing this. And the cool thing is since we used child size hangers, this is the smaller size. If you use the adult size hangers, you'll get an even larger present, and you can make a big set of these and get a ton of different looks and heights doing it that way. But obviously, once you plug in those lights, this present really comes to life and gives you a fun look. All of these projects were so fun to create and so beautiful in the end. Let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments below. If you want more hanger hack ideas for Christmas time, I'll have that thumbnail popping up on your screen. Go ahead, click that, and I will see you over there. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a very creative day.